Is it filming? It is filming. Okay, wonderful. All right. Hey, hustlers. Welcome back to Hustle Land. Welcome back to Ingrid Project. I can tell you that I just went back and rewatched my season opening, and I'm very satisfied. There is a lot less pressure that comes from creating content because it's just what you want to talk about, and you're not trying to rope people in to the next video and the next video and the next video. So cheers to that. I'm very satisfied with the result. Now, I would like to rant to you about something that's recently come into my attention and that I've been pondering a lot about. It's about gentle parenting. Let's make sure we are not having a nip slip in the video now. Anyway, let's resume. Gentle parenting. I believe that gentle parenting has failed us. And when I say us, I specifically mean Gen Zs and millennials. Now, let me explain. I have been babysitting a lot. And while this video is not sponsored by Bambino, I do highly recommend it as a second side hustle. I've made over $3,000 in babysitting alone. And that's actually pretty good. It's pretty good, in my opinion. Now, I have sat for a variety of children, many ages, many different backgrounds, parents, and so on, and I have noticed this. Now, I want to go ahead and say, as you know, I am not a therapist, psychologist, childhood development, aficionado. However, I have been able to tell something. I have seen parents that gentle parent their children the entire time, and these tend to be the kids that yell at their parents, throw tantrums, are angry, don't listen, and they are conscientious about this. I notice it and I think they're a little bit manipulative. And I have also sat for children that are very respectful, that are able to have their needs addressed or they speak up for their needs. And I feel like that's when gentle parenting comes in. So this is the rant, and I was having this conversation earlier with someone today. I believe that gentle parenting is ineffective unless one first teaches their child boundaries, respect, and how to respectfully speak up for themselves and their needs. Now, I grew up in a Latino household, trauma, and what I realized is that although I was a very good child, a lot of that came from the inability to speak. I was told to be a stone, that being quiet meant I looked prettier. And while sometimes that might be true, as a child, very ineffective. Although I was not a nuisance to my parents, my needs were not met, which led me to become a chronic people pleaser as an adult and to sit down and cry for hours when my SO and I had a conversation about macros and the math just wasn't mathing. I had flashbacks to sitting down at the kitchen table, having my parents yell at me, ¿Qué es dos más dos? And you're like, cinco! And that was very traumatic. So let's not do that. However, I recently sat for a child, and this child was very respectful. She was able to speak up for her needs. I've never seen her raise her voice at her mom. And in this case, I feel like gentle parenting works because as the child was younger, I can tell that the mom really worked on enforcing boundaries, respect. She also respects her child very much. She sets the example in everything that she does. And third and most importantly, which I feel like this is a huge leap and milestone in Latino culture, is teaching your children how to express their needs in a respectful way. There is no reason why little Samantha needs to sit down and be tied down to the table until she eats the 10 dino nuggies when she only really wanted 4. But she's never gonna tell you that after 4 she's full because she's scared of you. She's scared of you. There's no reason why a 5-year-old should be scared to say they don't want to eat any more dino nuggies. This happened to me. Mom told me, hey, for dinner, if my child wants food, make them 5 dino nuggies. Sensational. It was dinner time, and I sat down with the child and I asked them, would you like some dino nuggies? And she said, yes, I would. I know my mom told you to make me 5. However, I would only like 3. I'm full. I don't need that much food. She said it respectfully, she said it kind. Now, mind you, this is a 5-year-old. And I thought, interesting. Nonetheless, I made the 5 because who am I to trust a child's judgment? And I wanted to make sure there was more just in case she did realize she actually wanted 5. But alas, she had the 3. She told me she was full. And she told me, just tell my mom I didn't eat the other 2. And I told her, it's okay. I'll tell your mom that you wanted 3 instead of 5 and I made you 3 and that you were full and you went to bed feeling great. She was like, that's awesome. She wasn't scared. She didn't feel a need to hide this information from her mom. And when her mom came home and I talked to her about it, she said that was absolutely fine, that she's done the hard work of being able to have her child express her needs. So it's not that I think that gentle parenting is ineffective as a whole. It's that it's ineffective when you expect a baby to just listen to you just because. And you don't set the example, and you don't set boundaries, and you don't respect your children. And then you're confused when they don't respect you. And then they're throwing tantrums and throwing stuff at you in the kitchen while the sitter is standing in the corner, twiddling their thumbs, wondering, what do I do? That was me. So I'd love to hear what you think. Are you a parent? Have you used gentle parenting? Has it worked for you? Or are we still pinching kids and telling them to be quiet? Are we enforcing bodily discipline? Or what methods are you using? If you're a fellow sitter, I'd love to hear from your experience if you think I'm crazy. Or what do you believe? What do you think about this gentle parenting approach? I personally, I'd like my kids to be very independent, very respectful, but I'd never want my kids to shut down their needs and not be able to speak up for themselves. And yeah, you can't enforce gentle parenting on a kid that's freaking Godzilla. So, with that, I leave you hustlers. Keep on hustling. Don't be too gentle.